It's been a year since the last Devil May Cry video I put out. What can I say? I'm sorry. In those last videos, by the way, I was like, I promise you there will be a new DMC video soon. More Devil May Cry, so stay tuned. And then like a year went by. So yeah, life gets in the way sometimes. It is what it is. I'm just gonna keep going. So yeah, I'm also trying out something a little bit different in these videos. I'm gonna show the gameplay, the let's play continues, but I'm also gonna be talking about mostly related stuff that I care about, whatever I think it's relevant, just kind of going off. Um, so yeah, since this is a Devil May Cry video, I don't know if you know, but recently there was a Devil May Cry game that came out for mobile called Devil May Cry Pinnacle of Combat, and I actually played it for like 20 minutes before I uninstalled it. And I have to say, I have a love hate relationship with phone games, but I have Devil May Cry, I have a bunch of Pokemon games, and I also installed Solitaire recently on my phone. And playing Solitaire on my phone was actually kinda more fun than playing Devil May Cry. I'm sorry, but this Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry 1, 4, all that other stuff I play, that's great. Peak of Combat, not so great, you know. Uh, so yeah, let's get into it. You get to see Devil May Cry 1 gameplay, which is good. I mean, the game is good, my gameplay is average, let's say. But I also get to review the gacha game, and no, I'm not going to provide um, my own gameplay or footage because, like I said, I played for 20 minutes. I don't feel like recording or reinstalling the app, so I'm just gonna go off by what I remember. So, the first thing that I think should be said is that this is not a very objective review. There's some great videos out there. There's people who have documented the development of this game. There's people who analyze the combat system and the monetization in depth. I suggest you watch those. This is just me sharing how I feel about it. With that out of the way, um, what can I say? I'll start by talking about the thing that bothers me the most, which is the fact that this is a game with a campaign, single player. I use quotation here, story. There is a story mode basically. Single player, just you versus the environment, and well, at least I assume it is. I haven't seen co-op of this section of the game, but in order to complete the story mode, you have to be online. So this entire game is online only, which is a huge problem for me. I remember the good old days of mobile gaming where you had games like Spider-Man Unlimited or Asphalt 8, and I used to there was also a shooting game, but I can't remember the name right now. But Flappy Bird, Angry Birds, these games you would just download, and then if you don't want to connect to Wi-Fi or you're outside, you could just play it whenever you felt like it. You didn't really need internet. There were parts of the game that you would play online, but you could pretty much play it offline as well. And you can't do that with DMC, even though even Devil May Cry 5, they really could have done some real bad stuff and made it online only. We see plenty of games these days that get released. They're a good single player story focused experience. There's no reason for them to require you to be online all the time, and yet they force you to connect to the internet, and I don't like that. And I don't like the fact that Peak of Combat makes you connect online. So that's pretty bad, but like I said, there is a story, air quotes. um, so how is the story? The story makes no sense, and it's kind of funny in a pathetic sort of way because they didn't really need to try as hard as they did. with the story. The cutscenes, you know, people talk about the graphics. I don't really care about graphics. It's fine. It looks okay to me. You know, I'm not picky about my visuals unless it looks really bad, which Peak of Combat does not. It doesn't look really bad, but those cutscenes do look a little bit bad, and they look like somebody tried really hard, and they it feels like their work kind of goes to waste because they really didn't have to. All you needed for this game was Lady and Dante walking down the street after the events of DMC3, and then Lady goes, "Hey, there are some demons there down the street. We should check it out." And then Dante and Lady go, they get into a fight, and then it's like you just keep going from there. It's like, oh look, the demons, they're coming from this forest nearby, and then you go into the forest, and then it's like, oh, there's a whole demon infestation here, and there's a temple and a portal to hell, and you know, it's mobile gaming. That's all you really had to do. Again, there was this old game on the phone, Spider-Man Unlimited. That's basically what they did. It's like it's the Green Goblin and Spider-Man, and then it's like, oh, by the way, there's I'm gonna open a portal, and there will be a bunch of evil Green Goblins from another dimension, and a bunch of Spider-Man from those dimensions. So be sure to catch them all. And that's all you need. Just the most simple. That's what Spider-Man did. It was just like a portal opens, and then you get into the game. You chase around, catch them all. That's all Peak of Combat had to do. It's just like, oh, there's this demon over here, go fight it. Just instead, it's like this weird. It's almost like somebody put DMC4, DMC3, DMC5, and the Devil May Cry anime. They took those sources of inspiration, they put them into AI. They fed the AI this. Actually, there's a bunch of things that I don't know why, but I get the impression that this was made with AI, especially the promo material. But we'll talk about that later. But they just fed this into the AI, and they were like, okay, what do you have for a story? And that's what the AI just spat out these cutscenes. Like, it's just scenes of Dante and Lady hanging around the bar, and every other dialogue out of their mouth is like, oh, you need to pay me this bill, you owe me money, here's a job offer because you're a demon hunter, what's the deal? And then just demons show up, and then it's like, okay, go fight them in the order. The I don't know what it is, they just name drop like this evil organization at one point. It's then This is the craziest part. This is about what I played. At one point, Dante, in this, again, quote, story, gets a letter from Virgil, which makes no sense since this is supposed to take place after Devil May Cry 3. So, and I'm fine with it if you wanna throw some bullshit and just be like, oh, a portal opened and now Virgil can be here. It's whatever, like, yeah, sure. But I don't know, the fact that you're trying to make it into a story and you can't quite get it and it doesn't quite work, it feels very uncanny valley. I just get bad, weird vibes from this. So the cutscenes that you pretend to be a story are really bad. There's nothing there basically. There's no. At most, what do you get? If you really want to see Dante, I don't know, do a cool stunt, eat some pizza, I guess. There's better ways to go about that, but if you're really desperate, there you go. Um, as far as the gameplay goes, it's really bad, and again, I'm pissed off about the whole thing. Well, there's a bunch of things, but I'm pissed off about um, the fact that you have to be online all the time. The gameplay is kind of bad, but it's not that infuriating. I feel like I should be more upset at how bad the combat is. The combat is what this whole game hinges on. This is what the game needs, and it's really weird. Some people actually said, oh, this combat is exactly like this other gacha game It's like Genshin Impact or Persona something. I don't know. I don't play a lot of these games, but there's like basically they copied another game and they just put a Devil May Cry skin over it, which is the completely wrong approach. People are coming in this game. Well, there's a lot of normies, there's a lot of fake fans and whatever, but the real fans, the people who care about gaming, are going to come here because they want that good combat. They want the DMC experience, and DMC is huge in the combat genre, in the hack and slash fighter. So it's the combat is pretty bad. Uh, there is some advanced combat mechanics, but I just want to talk about the basic stuff like attacks. You know, Dante's combo A, combo B. It feels a lot more stiff. It feels a lot more unresponsive. It feels clunky, which it really shouldn't. The best thing about the Devil May Cry games, even the older ones, they got this right, is that you you always feel very fast and very agile. Like you can swing your sword in every direction. You can, well, if you keep spamming the button, you won't be able to. But once you kind of get good at it, and even when you're just learning, you can really cancel into a lot of stuff. You can dash away, you can dodge, you can jump, you can do all these things, and it all feels kind of fluid and it feels crafted well. With Pick of Combat, it's not that. It feels very janky, it feels very clunky. It's kind of okay, but it needs more work put into it. Uh, the dodges in particular that you do with Dante, like the trickster dodge and the jumping, it feels really clunky. And there's also the fact that you don't really have lock on and you don't really have a good way to do motion inputs. So, for example, they gave Stinger a button. If you want to do a Stinger, you just press the button and it goes into a Stinger. Uh, People have been complaining like, oh, you're gonna put cooldowns on abilities. That's lame. I kind of don't care about it. But if you want to do high times and launch into air, you have to hold the button. And so when you press it, it does an attack and then it does high time. And once you're in the air, if you want to go down to the ground, you have to once again hold the button, which means you can never really start with the launcher. You always have to throw another attack in there, which I didn't really like. The air combo is a little, the air combo is a little bit different. You get a version of million stab in air, like it's aerial rave except it does a little million stab in there. It's fine. It's basically everything you can do. I I'm kind of upset that you can't, like, if you do the million stab thing and you hold it, you can't go down. It just, it doesn't go into helm break. So that's also kind of unfortunate. It's also you also get air stinger, which I really like the fact that Dante can do it. I think that's great. Props, credit where it's due, you know. But that's about it. The combat, other than this, it's very limited. You get your air hike right off the bat. You get air dash with Dante right off the bat, but it doesn't seem like it develops past that. Instead, what they do, they introduce this character swap system where you push a button and you switch out Dante for Lady, and then you get to do Lady moves. You get to shoot the guns. You get to, I don't know, I didn't play a lot of Lady. You get to shoot the guns and that's it, and you dodge. And you can also switch to Nero. I did play a lot of Nero, kind of. I played about as much as Dante in the 20 minutes that I played this trash game. And Nero was fun but also disappointing. Dante gets his pause combo. Like you can do the hit, hit, hit with the sword, but then you can also do hit, wait, you wait a bit, then you input again, and then you do million stab. And that's fun. Nero has a bunch of pause combos. Like he has a lot. He has the one where he swings the sword once and then just does a bunch of very aggressive slams. He has the one where he does more area crowd control. Like he's spinning around and doing these wide strikes, slashes with the sword. There's also just the simple one where it's just the normal combo, but if you delay the final attack, it does more damage, it hits harder. All of that is gone. All you get is just the basic combo with the sword. That's it. I don't know if you unlock it later. They really didn't say, and I really couldn't find a way. Like, if you look at the skill list, it doesn't. I didn't see it. Maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe I didn't look hard enough. I didn't find the place where it says, yeah, Nero can learn this other combo. It's a pause combo. It's whatever. Exceed is basically a buff, which I'm fine with. I understand, this is a mobile game. They couldn't put in the exceed system, so they made it a buff. You swing around your sword a bunch of times, then you can activate it, and it's cool. I don't really care for it that much. It's fine. Nero also gets to shoot his gun, kind of. He does a little roll, he dodges, and then he shoots. It's fine. I don't care for it. He also gets he kind of gets Trickster too. Also, in the air, he only gets one combo. He just gets the basic one. Again, Nero has pause combos for days. Not sure why they couldn't throw it in there. Maybe they will later. I don't know. I mean, let's be honest. There's gonna be a bunch of skins and different characters. Like you can buy Devil May Cry 4 Nero. You can buy red color, blue, yellow, green, a bunch of color skins. You can buy the one from DMC5. You can buy one from the manga. You're gonna be able to buy so many different Neros. It wouldn't surprise me if some of them have a bunch of special extra moves. That's how these games go usually. Another thing that I would like to point out that I think it's pretty funny is that in this game, when you attack, you hear like little voice lines taken straight out of Devil May Cry games. Like when Dante swings his sword, you hear like effort noises, like he's grunting and stuff. He's like ha, attack noises basically. Those are taken out of Devil May Cry games, like the original ones. But sometimes they need voice effects or voice lines delivered, and you can clearly tell it's someone else and it doesn't sound as good. I thought it was pretty funny. Other than that, what can I say? I don't really care about the whole combat. Seems to revolve around this character swap system, like you're supposed. They introduce another one where it's like if you dodge at just the right time, you can slam back in for a huge combo. It rarely comes up. Like, I don't know, I didn't trigger a lot of those. It mostly seems to revolve around switching out characters a lot, which, I mean, I don't care. Why is Nero here? Nero just shows up. They don't even try to be like, oh, a portal opened and time travel, whatever. There's none of that. He just shows up. Also, Virgil shows up. As much as I played for like a very short time, like I said, but at one point I'm fighting like this monster. I don't even remember what it is. I think I thought it was Phantom or something. It was a scorpion, whatever. I'm fighting him, and then all of a sudden Virgil shows up and punches the thing, and then he disappears. I'm guessing because you can't unlock Virgil, you have to probably pay money to get him. But yeah, gameplay, it's clunky, it's limited, you don't get your stuff. The thing that made me extra mad about the gameplay, like, okay, it's pretty bad, this should upset me, it kinda doesn't, I can accept it, but where I draw the line, and this is, when I got to this part, I knew that I'm about to quit the game. At a certain point, it just goes, bloop, you leveled up, and I'm like, what's this, what do you mean level up? And I click the thing, and it shows me, your Dante has reached level 2. You get more HP and more damage and defense and dodge chance and all. They basically show me a big, useless, stupid stat screen that you're gonna have to pay for in order to make it relevant. And I'm not even getting into the fact that there's like crystals and gems and coins and gold and pizza slices, and they really have pizza slices, which I think is pretty funny, but they have all these currency. I don't even care for that. I don't know, it feels like Genshin Impact or those other RPG games where it's like you have a bunch of character with stats and you level them up and you keep switching between them. This is not DMC combat. This is not what it's about. maybe somebody thought they were being real clever, like, well, we can't have style switching, so why not just entire character switching? I don't really want it and I don't care for it. I'm not here for that. I just, I'm being honest, I just want to play as Dante or Nero, and that's what I've done for the 20 minutes I've played. And I didn't even switch between them mid combat. I was mostly like, okay, let's play as Dante, and then a combat encounter would end, and I'd be like, okay, let's play as Nero now, and then just. By the way, Nero didn't have his. He didn't have. Now that I think about it, he didn't have his iconic like grab attacks. You know, Nero can do these attacks where he grabs you and slams the demons and whatever. That thing was completely absent. Like I didn't even notice. So yeah, that's pretty bad. Combat was bad. The fact that they added these RPG mechanics, I think it's horrible. I'm not here for that. I'm not here to raise my Dante's damage output. Like what? No, this isn't. It could be an idea if somebody made like a chibi game where it's like DMC DRPG. I'm like fine, but this ain't it, chief. I will say my idea of the monetization, because I knew this was gonna be a gacha game. Everybody knew, but I figured they were gonna do something like, okay, first of all, we're gonna sell a ton of cosmetics. Like you would get skins, alternate skins, new skins, crossover skins, and maybe they were even gonna be scummy enough to make the skins more powerful. Like, oh, if you wanna use round trip or this other iconic DMC ability, you can only use it on this premium skin, and maybe that would make it stronger in PvP because they have that in here. And by the way, multiplayer in Devil May Cry games, it's always been kind of something that they teased but never committed to in the series. I don't know if we're gonna get it. I don't know if we should get it. It's always been kind of limited to a few stages at most, or watching other people play. Uh, I think it's whatever. You know, I'm not here for the multiplayer or the co-op. It would be neat as an experiment, as an option. It definitely would have been something that this game had going for itself, but I didn't get that far, so whatever. This is just my experience with it. But yeah, you get to a point where you would buy these skins as different characters. You buy V, you buy Virgil, you buy Red Virgil, you buy Sparta Virgil, you buy all these skins and different characters and stuff and whatever. And I also thought maybe they would do a thing where you buy weapons and you buy different moves. I thought that would have been okay. It would not have been great, but it would have been acceptable for me. For example, let's say that you have rebellion, which you don't even have in this game. Spoilers, you don't have rebellion, you have victory edge, which is a new sword which doesn't show up in cutscenes, but it shows up in the gameplay and it looks kind of trash, not gonna lie. They literally gave Dante an ugly weapon so that you spend money to unlock the regular weapon. They didn't even. Here's the thing, they could have said, oh, Dante now has Alastor. It's not quite Rebellion, it's Alastor from DMC1. But instead, they went all the way. They were like, nah, this is just a new ugly thing that we're gonna give him. And if you want the classic stuff, you're probably gonna have to pay for it. But one thing, I'm kind of okay with that because I always imagine, like, okay, let's say that you have Rebellion and then they release in the shop, it's like, buy now Devil Sword Dante, and you buy it, and then it's like, okay, now that you bought the new weapon, you have to unlock the attacks all over again. So I thought they were gonna do something like, you know, pay for round trip, pay for sword formations and different combos and shredder and prop shredder and all those attacks. And maybe they would even pay for the properties of the attacks, which sounds super scummy. But again, if the gameplay was gonna be good, I would have been fine with it. Like when you use Stinger, it kind of throws the enemy away, it kind of knocks them down, and obviously when you use stuff like High Time or uh, Shredder or Prop Shredder, it launches enemies. And I thought it was gonna be like, okay, you use the attack, you deal damage, but if you want the stun effect on the enemy, you would have to pay more money to get the improved version of the attack. Which sounds really bad, I agree, it sounds real bad, but I would have been fine with it. I think as long as they gave us a good game, which they did not anyway. It's this weird thing where you have to switch out characters, which I don't want to engage with that pretty much at all. But yeah, the game's pretty bad, and I don't know. It's a different game. It's a game where you swap out characters, and you're in this gacha system, this RPG gacha system where you just level up stats like defense, dodge chance, crit chance. I bet I didn't even look that close, but I'm willing to bet it has randomly generated damage, and sometimes you can get a crit. I'm willing to bet because that's how these things. And I have a feeling that the more money you spend on the game, the more your crit chance will increase. I don't know why, but you know how it goes. Yeah, it's a pretty bad game. That's all I kind of have to say for it. It's not even, you know, Devil May Cry has some RPG elements where you would get abilities like Trigger Heart to increase your Devil Trigger duration, and I don't know, elemental damage with Ifrit. It's especially present in older games like DMC3 or DMC1. It's a little bit present in DMC5. You have all these elemental weapons. King Cerberus comes to mind. But those are like good implementation of RPG like mechanics with the elemental damage and stuff. Whereas this is just, it's the gacha thing, which, you get stats and stuff and you have to pay for armor. I'm willing to bet they will add armor if it's not already in the game, but whatever. Yeah, it's a uh, pretty bad gacha game. Let me know what you thought about it, and also let me know if you liked this video format, because if you did, you're gonna get more of it. And in fact, I think you're gonna get more of it anyway, because playing DMC1 is really hard, as um, as I'm sure you'll see from the my fight with Nelo Angelo. So for the next few parts of this playthrough, I think you're gonna get more commentary like this. But if you don't like it, I will stop. But if you did like it, good news, there's more to come. Okay, goodbye. Go down. Go to hell. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. No! You idiots! Give me... No! This is what I want. Yes, 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 yes. Oh my god. I'm doing it! Get dunked on, Virgil! Get dunked on, son! That won't change much. Yes, please. How did I even do that? Please, God, let me keep doing this. No. Stay on those goddamn stairs, Virgil. Stay on those goddamn stairs, son. Stay on those goddamn stairs. Don't you dare move away from those. Yes. Oh my god. I'm finally getting past this level. Oh my god, I'm so happy. I'm so goddamn happy. I don't care. I don't care that I'm choosing it. It's fine. It counts. It totally counts. It's all skill. I got this. Please God, Dante, don't drop this. He's gonna teleport away. Okay, it's fine. I can still hit him through that wall. It's fine. It's fine. Just keep doing this. Oh my god. Finally. In DMC5 they say it's the end of Virgil's nightmare. Well, this is the end of Dante's nightmare. Oh my god, I'm actually I'm so goddamn happy finally, because people have been saying, oh, you can exploit it with Ifrit, you can stun lock him, and I think I've heard people talk about how you can stun him, like you can block him with the stairs as well, but I've never actually pulled it off. And now at long last I finally find a way to cheese this fight. I'm so happy I can't even goddamn speak. Happy I can finally cheese this boss fight. Easiest fight of my life. I mean, I'm having fun. Why not? Okay, but seriously, here's the thing. Okay, I know, this is very much cowardice. And I'm a coward, and this sucks. People don't think this is exciting, it's not cool. Counterpoint. I've been trying this goddamn fight for months. And by that I don't mean I've spent literal months, but like each day, let's say that I attempted 3 times. Multiply that by like, I don't know, at least 50. So I've tried this boss like 150 times and I couldn't do it. And at this point I think it's sweet revenge, like whatever, I couldn't beat Nelo Angelo without cheesing him. It's fine, I'll still beat the rest of the game. I will say this much, this is a hard fight. If I'm the biggest scrub for not being able to handle this fight, then so be it, I accept that I am scrubbed. But I can't, I literally can't, I tried so hard. He hits for way too much damage. There's like unpredictable attacks with the summon swords. And you can't really read him. So this is my only solution. I'm sorry. I apologize to the Devil May Cry community, to the action game community, to the game devs. Apologies to Hideki Kamiya. Okay. Nah, I'm not gonna. Like, I was debating for the last hit if I should do it legit, but nah, I'm not gonna give you the chance. It's finally over, I did it! Yay! The cutscene froze. Why? Please, God, save my. No! Devil May Cry collection not responding! Please respond, just let this be over. It's the amulet. I'm actually curious if Dante still has it. Yeah, there's a bit of a delay there, but it's fine. What? Trish works for Mundus? It took me 14 minutes. I wonder what rank it's gonna give me. I deserve it. I deserve it. I suck. I suck 100%. Yeah, whatever. Save. Yes, thank God. Yes, save. Save this goddamn thing. Oh my God, it's finally over. It's finally actually over. What is the next mission? Spirit Stone Elixir. It better not be hard.